Tonight, a key claim from Kim Jong-un's regime about one of his most dangerous missiles is being contradicted by his archenemy. That intercontinental ballistic missile, which North Korea test-fired on July 4th, does not have the capability of surviving the heat of re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. That's according to South Korean lawmakers briefed by the country's intelligence service. Kim's regime had claimed that missile could survive re-entry, which could have enabled it to strike targets in the U.S. carrying a nuclear warhead. A missile expert told us what the North Koreans would have to do to make that work.
Within this nose cone or shroud would be the warhead. It's going to enter the atmosphere very, very fast, and it's going to get very hot, and so it's going to be shielded. Within that delivery vehicle would be presumably a nuclear weapon of some kind. So it has to survive all the heat and the bouncing around of the reentry.
U.S. military and intelligence officials tell CNN they're still analyzing the North Korean missile test and won't comment on the South Koreans' assessment. At a minimum, we know North Korea is trying to perfect re-entry, ground testing nose cone heat shields under simulated re-entry conditions. The newly raised doubts about re-entry have not stopped Kim from celebrating that long-range missile test. A concert in Pyongyang featuring dancers and several bands lauded Kim's leadership and so-called guidance of the test firing. Kim's glamorous wife, Ri Sol-ju, even made a rare appearance at a banquet to join in the festivities. In the United States, a different response. A long-scheduled missile defense test conducted overnight in Alaska. The Pentagon says the THAAD system, which intercepts intermediate-range missiles, had its 14th successful test. And from China, a complaint. Stop suggesting that it's entirely up to China to pressure North Korea.
Recently, certain people have been exaggerating and giving prominence to the so-called China responsibility theory. I think this either shows lack of a full, correct knowledge of the issue, or there are ulterior motives for it, trying to shift responsibility.
Is there validity to their claim here?
No, not really. The Chinese provide about 90% of food and fuel for the North Koreans. They have the ability to put an enormous economic squeeze on them. They don't want to, because if the North collapses, that's calamitous for China in several respects. But they're not doing some, basic things they could do to help.
But there are now indications that President Trump and his team may not be waiting around for China to act and may be imposing more pressure on Beijing tonight. The Wall Street Journal reporting that the Trump administration is moving toward imposing its own sanctions on Chinese banks and companies that U.S. officials say help fund Kim Jong-un's weapons program. We got no comment on that report from the White House.